Hello. So similar to what I've been doing to Portswigger and the labs, we'll be doing some Hack the Box labs as well. Just in case people are looking for Hack the Box next to Portswigger. And I'll be doing like both simultaneously and uploading videos of every lab that I do, whether let it be on Hack the Box, Portswigger, and then soon we're going to go to try Hack Me as well. So if you don't know me, I'm studying for PSCP, and then after that I'll go for the OSCP. I am a web developer with over 7 years of experience professionally in the field, not counting all the weird projects that I've been doing myself while I'm learning. So I've been doing a lot of development in PHP, in Python, in Ruby, and the last thing that I worked on was my 2 projects, Swifty and Patchlog. But this is not me blabbing about my products. This is me solving Fawn, which is the second Hack the Box machine in our starting point. I already created an account here, and I am using the free version so that you don't have to pay yet for Hack the Box. There will be some labs that will need you to pay, and especially if you go to their academy, which is super duper cool, we could pay then. But for now, I'll just stay free and do the free ones that are available to us, which I don't think VIP are included, so we'll do these and then we will move on to other things. So without further ado, let's actually start with Fawn. So Meow is super simple. I'm gonna include a write-up to GitHub, to the repo. I actually updated the Portswigger's repo to also include a folder for Hack the Box labs. So it's not worth like making a video about, honestly. It's just super simple, and I'm gonna include the write-up in the description. For now, let's just start with Fawn. Now, the very first thing you'd probably come across is how you can connect to the VPN of Hack the Box. So the way it works is you start a machine on Hack the Box, and it starts on like a private network that to connect to, you need to connect to their VPN. So there are 2 ways that you can connect to their VPN by clicking here, and then you could essentially just either choose OpenVPN, the OG way of connecting to a machine, or you can choose Pawnbox. Now, Pawnbox is basically a browser-based parrot. If you don't know parrot, it's similar to Kali Linux. They are basically just Linux made for pen testing and security, stuff like that. And you can use Pawnbox, which is super simple, but I want to go a bit deeper and actually use my own tools because I'm setting up my WSL, which is essentially, if you don't know, it's a Linux subsystem in Windows. WSL stands for Windows Subsystem Linux. And that means that I am actually running Linux. So even though I'm on Windows right now, I could type uname -a, and then you will find that it is actually a Linux. This is an Ubuntu installation on WSL. I'm not going to go through how to install this. It's very simple. Just type on Google WSL and Ubuntu, how to install, whatever, something like that. And then you're going to get like a guide how to do that. So I have this ready already. I also made a Hack the Box lab cybersec. So I already made a folder for us to play in. And the way I'm going to connect to the lab here, I'm going to click on OpenVPN, and then you can get, you can choose like whether you're EU or US, and then you can choose a server, choose the one that is like has the least number here, and then you can just download UDP or TCP. Both are okay for me. And then I'm going to come to my WSL here. And then I already have the file that I started here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do sudo OpenVPN and then just the file here. I press tab to autocomplete because there's only one file in here. And then I'm going to click enter. Once I do that, you will see that I'm successfully connected to OpenVPN. Cool. Now I'm going to click start machine, which is what's going to do is it's going to like start the machine for us that we are going to hack. The way Hack the Box works is that it gives you like a bunch of questions or tasks that you need to do, and these will incrementally get difficult, and they will like point you in the right direction what you need to do in order to get the flag. The flag is simply just a string, like a random string of characters and numbers that you have to get from the machine in order to prove that you actually like hack the machine, and it will basically be your goal. So the flag is going to reside in a file called flag.txt on the server, and you just simply have to get that flag's value and submit it as the last thing here. Now we're going to go through all these tasks in Fawn. And then while we're going through, I could, like I already have my write-up here ready to go because I want to do the write-up simultaneously as I solve the lab or I progress through the lab. And I'm not sure yet if I should do that on camera, like in the video or not. But this is up to you guys. Like, let me know in the comments if you want to see me doing the write-up here and how I would go about writing these things, or it's just super boring and you will just want to watch the video. So let me know below in the comments what you think. Now we're gonna start with what does the 3-letter acronym FTP stand for? If you don't know this, it's pretty easy. You can click hint and you're gonna see like a bunch of things here, or you could just Google it. The point of these is to actually learn what you don't know, because they do not give you like a curriculum or to study to solve these things. So it is good that they will ask you things that you don't know, and then you'll have to go do some research. I just happen to know that this is FTP is super simple. It stands for File Transfer Protocol. All right. Which port does the FTP service listen on usually? So if you don't know the answer to this, you can also press hint. FTP default port should get you there. Yeah. The same advice that I said. I think it's 25. Incorrect task flag. It's not 25. I forgot, honestly. Is it 22? Nope, it's not 22. Time to Google it. FTP standard port and 21. Correct. By the way, I knew it's 21. I just wanted to demonstrate that it's not bad to Google stuff, and it's not bad to not know stuff. It is exactly the reason why we're doing this and why I'm going blind into these things, because I do want you to get a feel of how someone with experience would go about solving things blindly and how the thought process works, how they would Google stuff. And right now we have AI as well. So how, like, when would I do Claude versus just Googling? Even Google uses AI right now to give you like the top results. So the thought process is what's important here. So FTP sends data in the clear without any encryption. What acronym is used for a layer protocol designed to provide similar functionality to FTP, but securely as an extension of the SSH protocol? SFTP. If you don't know that, just simply Google it. What you could do is simply just copy this and honestly just go to Google. But if you do that, then you're just simply cheating an exam. That's not what we want. I want you, if you don't know something like that, just copy it, go grab the answer, but then read about the answer. What is the SFTP? What does it stand for? And why it was created in the first place? You can get a hint from this question. Like, it was created to add encryption and then make things more secure, instead of just transferring things out in the wild completely unencrypted. But yeah, the point of these is that you want to get the answer, yeah, no problem, but then again understand what the heck is going on. What is the command we can use to send an ICMP echo request to test our connection to the target? If you don't know what an ICMP is, it's essentially a small packet that you send ping and then you get a response pong. So essentially, are you alive? Yes, I am. And the answer is ping. From your scans, what version is FTP running on the target? Okay, so that means now we need to actually do something active. So all of these were just like the academic questions. Right now we need to do the actual scanning of the target. To do scanning, we will be using Nmap. If you don't have Nmap, if you're using Linux, you could just do sudo apt install Nmap, which is exactly what we are going to do on our Linux here, because I'm on WSL, which is a true Linux. If you're on Kali, if you're on Kali Linux, then it already exists. If you're on Parrot, it already exists. You don't need to do anything. Otherwise, you could just use Linux and do sudo apt install Nmap. Now, if you're on Mac, I believe Nmap is also available on Mac. Now, if you're on pure Windows, I do recommend you go for Linux, because a lot of the tools that we'll be going through is relying on Linux. And then using WSL is going to save you a lot of time from like doing a virtual machine and having to download like VirtualBox or VMware or whatever. And it is much faster to just open your terminal, type WSL, and there you go. So yeah, we'll be using WSL until it proves like convenient for us to just create a VM. Well, without further blabbing, I'm gonna go to the top here. This is the target IP address. So this is the IP address of the machine that we are trying to hack, of Fawn essentially. So you click on it, and then you can paste it here, and then we're gonna do an Nmap scan of this target. So just Nmap the IP of the target, which is the machine, and we just wait for a few seconds until our scan comes back. I hope the text is clear enough. I think it is on video. I have it super big on my screen here, so it's actually good in the video. Okay, so our scan results came back, and we can see that we have port 21, FTP is open. Now, you will notice something here, and I did that on purpose. Watch here what the question says. It says, from your scans, what version is FTP running on the target? Now, so we're expecting like a version number in here, but you can see in our response here, we do not have a version number. So the way to do that is, I'm actually going to type nmap and then dash H for help. Now, dash H is going to give you a lot of information here, a lot of information. So what you're looking for is something related to version. Here's another tip. What you could do is simply add the pipe, simple, grep, and then type version. But before I do that, I'm gonna hold Control and press L. So L, Control L is gonna clear the, I'm gonna do that like a lot. So if you see my command prompt just go clear in a sec, that's because I'm pressing Control L. Now nmap-h grep version, and you can see that we actually have a bunch of things that are related to version. You can see that -v is print version number, and then here you're going to probe open ports to determine the service and the version info. So what we want to do is type nmap tag sv, which is what we're going to use right here, and then paste in the IP of the machine. I'm going to press enter, and we're going to give it a couple of seconds. A tip, if you press like any key, really, I'm just pressing the right arrow right now. So if you do that, you're going to see like some more status about the nmap scan that's going on. So you can see it's 90%, 96, 99, and there we go. So you can see now we have a new column here that we did not have before, which is the version. This is what we're looking for in our answer. So to copy, you can Control-Shift-C whenever you have something selected like that. Control-Shift-C will get you copied. Control-V to paste it in the field. Submit task. There we go. From your scans, what OS type is running on the target? Okay, so now we're looking for an OS, and guess what? We already got that using the service info because we did SV in our nmap. Okay, so we already have the answer to this. It's Unix. I mean, I don't even need to copy that. Come on. We're going to type Unix. What is the command we need to run in order to display the FTP client help menu? So I think the answer is pretty clear here. So the question is basically saying, how can we display the help menu for FTP? Now, if I type FTP here, we can see that the command FTP is not found, which is sad, because we are going to need FTP for this machine. So I'm looking for which one should I install in this scenario. I'm thinking FTP SSL, perhaps, is what we are looking for. Yeah, so now typing FTP opens this. Now to open the help menu, I think it's -H. Yeah, so FTP-H is going to open the help menu. Incorrect task flag. Interesting. So is it this that is looking for? Yeah. So I guess the version that they're using or they're expecting is that FTP-H question mark is going to open the help menu. But on our machine, we are using FTP-H, which is going to open the help menu with -H. But that's okay. We already knew about the question mark because it was a question mark like here as the hint in the response or in the correct answer here. What is the username that is used over FTP when you want to log in without having an account? This is something that you should Google if you don't know. I just happen to know it. It's anonymous. What is the response code we get for FTP message login successful? Okay, so we actually need to do this. I do not know the answer to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do FTP anonymous at and then the IP address. Boom. And name or service not known. Okay. So FTP this and then anonymous. Does that work? Yes. All right, so the login successful is 230. By the way, for the password, I just pressed enter. I did not enter any password because anonymous login is enabled, and this is a vulnerability. Since anonymous login is enabled, I could just log in without a password. I could just type enter, and then it's gonna log me in without any password. So what I did here is simply, I tried using the SSH syntax to FTP. It did not work. So I just typed FTP and then the IP of the machine. It asked for a name. I typed anonymous because it looks like from the questions that anonymous login is enabled. And then for the password, I just pressed enter. I do not have a password. It's anonymous login, and it let me in. And you can see that the message we got is 230, login successful. And this is what we are asking for here, or being asked for here. There are a couple of commands we can use to list the files and directories available on FTP server. One is dir, or dir. What is the other one? That is a common way to list file on a Linux system. It's ls. If I type ls here, you can actually see that we are listing all the files on the FTP, and we can see that we have a flag.txt file. So you see where this is going. So the answer to this is going to be ls. What is the command used to download a file we found on the FTP server? Again, if you don't know, just do FTP-H. Or maybe help. Yeah, you can type help here if you are already in the FTP context, so you're already logged in. And then using help, you can see a bunch of commands. The one we're interested in is get, which is gonna let us download stuff. So if you wanna look for the G, where is it? Looks like there's one with mget. Maybe because we're using FTP, SSL is different here, but the correct answer should be get here. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna try to do get flag.txt. Let's see what happens. Oh, it just works. Okay. Maybe there is a get here that I'm just not seeing. Glob get. There it is. I'm just blind. My bad. So anyway, the get lets you download something from the FTP server, and then the opposite is put, where you can get something from your local to the FTP server. Now, since we got the flag, we could just do exit, and if you write exit, it's going to give you a goodbye. Now you are out of the machine, so of the FTP connection. You just disconnected. And now if I do ls, you can see that we have a flag.txt, the file that we just downloaded, next to our starting point. Now it's automatically whatever files you're gonna download, you will be downloaded from the folder that you were in when you initiated the FTP connection. That's why we have our flag here. Now using cat, it basically just outputs the content of a file. So cat the flag, and then you can see the flag value is right here. Control-Shift-C to copy it, paste, and then submit the flag. And voila, Fawn. That scared me for a bit. So now we actually owned the machine. So yeah, this is it. So I will actually skip writing the README and the write-up on camera, but let me know if you want to see that in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching. Give me a subscribe, give me a like, let me know in the comments if you like these videos. If you hate these videos, let me know why, what I could do better. I'm trying to like build a career in cybersecurity while giving back to the community, because this is how I learned in the first place. I learned from the community for free. So I'm just trying my best to give back to the community. Let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you for watching, and see you in another lab. See you.